What's up, YouTube? What's up, Internet? It's that dude Heazie, and I've got a video here on a topic that some people love, some people hate, some people don't even care about. But it's a pretty big topic, at least for this past year, and probably going forward. On as you can see from the title, remakes, remasters, HD releases, re-releases. Call it whatever you're gonna call it, whatever quote you're gonna put on the box to get someone to buy the same game. Basically, are they okay? Do you love them? Do you hate them? And we're gonna go through what I think in this video. Some of the ones that, if you're gonna do it, let's do them. Because I love HD remakes or remasters or re-releases, especially if it's games I've played and I loved, because it just gives me another reason to play it again. You know, games that you would buy over and over again. Resident Evil 4 comes to mind for me and for the world, apparently, because that thing's been on fucking everything. And it's probably not going to stop. PlayStation 28, Xbox 40,000 squared cube, pi, whatever they're going to call it. Resident Evil 4 is probably going to be on there. That's just the way Capcom rolls, and we keep buying it, so they're going to keep on putting it out there. That's fine with me, because I love Resident Evil 4. Anyway, and you know what? What I just did there is another reason why I have a list, because I tend to ramble, and I'm going to try and keep to a script. It's just a list, so I can just try to get my thoughts out, boom, 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 and end it, because my videos tend to go long. Nobody watches them. Maybe you'll watch it if it's relatively short. You probably won't watch it anyway. Probably won't be short, but here it is. So we're just going to cut to the chase, get right to it, and see what you think. Here's what I think. I broke it down into categories. What I think would be absolute hits and should get done immediately. What could happen, hit or miss, whether it works or not, who knows. But the likelihood that it could happen, or what I think if it'll work, if you decide to do it. And then the third category is very unlikely. Probably not going to happen. Could work, probably not going to happen. So let's just get right to it right here. First one, Max Payne 3. And I'll preface this by saying all these, if it's a game that's already out, it's got DLC or whatever it is, throw it in there, include it in the package for the flat fee of whatever it's going to be, 60, 50, 40, 30, 20, whatever it's going to be, all the DLC in there, because that needs to be. You can't go double charging on DLC, just like a Game of the Year edition. If it's going to be there, remastered, updated, whatever it is, throw that DLC in there. It needs to be. So Max Payne 3, including Max Payne 1 and 2, because those games were awesome. Max Payne 3, I think, when it came out, fantastic game. My personal Game of the Year in 2012. But you talked about it, or the world talked about it for about a month or two, and it just dropped off. I can understand a lot of games came out in 2012 that were pretty great, but at the same time, Max Payne 3 was fucking awesome. It had a nice ending to the series. I mean, you could always make a Max Payne 4, but if you're not going to, Max Payne 3 kind of ended it where you hoped it would end. So, Max Payne 3, fantastic game, loved it. I don't think it gets enough love. People largely ignore it now. It's on sale on Xbox, PlayStation, PSN all the time for like $5, and I'm hoping that's and again, on these I don't know any sales numbers for any of these, so I'll preface that again. But it just seems as if no one's playing it, and people should play it. I don't know if it's typically on sale a lot for like $5, $10, and I don't know if that's because it's selling well at that price and they just continually put it out, or if they're doing it because it's not selling at all. So Max Payne 3, including 1 and 2, which are fantastic games, that would be fantastic in itself. Day one purchase for me. Max Payne 3 by itself. If you throw in 1 and 2, even like a staggered release, 1 for $10, 2 for $10, I don't mean remake it completely, just up-res it, whatever you're going to do, put it on Xbox One, PS4, done. Immediate purchase for me, and I'm sure a lot of people as well. Number 2, Red Dead Redemption. Fantastic game. Basically Grand Theft Auto in the Old West. When that game came out, wasn't really interested in it too much. I mean, I was, but at the same time, I really wasn't. I did not expect to love it as much as I did. Fantastic game. It's very deep. If you love Grand Theft Auto and you're interested in the Old West, it's a no-brainer. If you love Grand Theft Auto and you're not interested in the Old West, which I'm not, I don't like it at all. Not a fan of it. It's a fantastic game either way. The story is great. It's like I said, it's a very deep game. It's got an online community, which from what I understand, people still play. Throw it into the Xbox One and PS4, you got more people playing. A lot of DLC. Zombie mode DLC was also awesome. Throw that in there. Fantastic. Day one purchase. By the way, all these are day one purchases for me. Not even blinking an eye. Money, money issues aside, if I had the money, obviously. Uncharted 4 is coming out next year. Probably next winter or fall. Black Friday around that time. 1, 2, and 3 on PS4. No brainer. I mean, if Sony's, touting the whole people used to own a 360, never owned a PlayStation system, and they moved on to PlayStation with PlayStation 4, they're not going to go buy a PlayStation 3 to play 1, 2, and 3. Some people aren't going to go and say, it's Uncharted 4. I'm not playing this game. I've never played 1, 2, and 3, so I'm not playing this one. I mean, you guys have 15 million consoles out there so far, as far, what the numbers show, I guess, right now. Are you going to get people to play it if they've never played an Uncharted? Possibly, possibly not. So basically, if you throw 1, 2, and 3 on there, whatever price points, a full package by itself, 1, 2, and 3, $60. Up-res it, remaster, whatever you're going to, like what you did with Last of Us. It's a no-brainer. For people who love and played them on PS3, they're going to buy it again, get those trophies. They're going to buy it again just to say they're playing it again to hype themselves up for PS4. Because what about those people who threw away, or, didn't throw away, but put away in their closet or sold their PlayStation 3? They want to play Uncharted again, get themselves hyped up again. It's a no-brainer to me. And I've never played Uncharted 1, 2, or 3. I'd be interested in doing it. I'm not going to buy them on my PS3 that I barely even look at anymore because Uncharted 4 is coming out. You put it on PS4, I'm all over it. Because even though I've never played it, everyone says they're fantastic games. The only game I've played is Golden Abyss on the Vita. It's the only Uncharted game I've ever played. And to be honest, leave that game on the Vita. Don't include it in a collection like you did with God of War for PS3, where you included the PSP games on there. Don't do it. Please, for the love of God. Leave it on the Vita. You don't have very much first-party support. It's basically the PlayStation indie machine. And that's your selling point. I mean, it's not a very good selling point, to be honest. The game that came out, the system came out over 2 years ago. But leave that on the Vita. You got a selling point with that. Exclusive Uncharted game only on the Vita. Don't do what they did with, Assassin's Creed Liberation or Arkham Black 8 Batman. Put it on the handhelds, or Castlevania. Put it on the handhelds. Well, they're not selling very well. Well, let's up-res them HD, throw it on 360 and PSN. Don't do it. Don't do it. Leave it there. Fourth game of my absolute hits. It's going to come right out and knock it out of the park. Bioshock. Bioshock Infinite. Infinite. Throw 1 and 2 in there, all the DLC, all that, in a package, a staggered release, individually priced, $20, whatever it's going to be. They'll sell. I'm telling you, they'll sell. I don't know anything, but I know something, and they'll sell. Especially 1. 2 gets hate. I don't know why it's just as good as 1. I think it's better. Story-wise, every gameplay-wise, all-wise. Fight me on it. I don't care. 2 was great, better than 1. Yeah, it doesn't have that punch you in the gut, 7 years later. Would you kindly moment? Spoiler alert. But I'm sorry. There it is. It's a hit. I'm sorry. And when they came out with the complete edition a couple months ago, or last month, or whenever it was, for Infinite on 360 and PS3, what the fuck are you doing? That should have been a remaster for Xbox One and PS4. Because again, when it comes to games that are being re-released, you can complain and say they're not needed, they're wasting everyone's time, it's just throwing more of the same shit into the market. That might be true, but what about you have to remember the people who have never played a video game on 360, excuse me, or PS or PlayStation 3 or any of these older systems, and they're jumping on immediately, whether it be an adult my age or teenagers, kids, whatever it may be, that have jumped in initially for PS4, for Xbox One. They've never touched them and have heard good things, but they're not buying a 360 to play Bioshock. They're not buying a 360 to play Max Payne or Red Dead. Not buying a PlayStation 3 to play Uncharted. They're just not. So what better way to, I don't know how much it costs to do an HD remake or remaster, not a remake, but remaster or, whatever it's going to be to re-release a game on there, but I can't imagine it's as much as it making a brand new game in a series or a new IP. It's money. And you don't have to buy it, by the way. People like me will buy it. You don't have to buy it if you don't like it. So you got to remember, there are people out there who will buy them. I'm one of them. So, Infinite, I can't believe was not on there. That to me, 2K is either got it in the works and they're just not talking about it, or they're losing their minds and they don't know what they're doing. They're just sitting pretty on that GTA $1 billion money over there. But honestly, immediate purchase. Throw them all in one package. I'm jizzing all over the room. This couch is now white. It's not red. Immediate for me. I'm sure there are people out there the same way. But I digress. So now we're going to move on to games that I think are likely to happen, or could be hits if they do happen. And again, this video is 12 minutes long, so I'm fucking rambling as shit. But I'm going to try and run through these, give a couple hits, and that's that. Mass Effect Trilogy. I wasn't a fan of it. Everyone's a fan of it. I own the Mass Effect Trilogy on 360. I played Mass Effect 1 for maybe a couple hours when it came out, a couple hours when I bought the trilogy. I just can't get into it. But to be honest with you, it's because I don't have the time to suck into that game. But if it was re-released on Xbox One or PS4, I might think about hunkering down and just saying, fuck it. Let's do this. Especially Mass Effect 4 coming out. Again, remember, people have never played another game in the series who jumped onto these new systems. They might want to do it when Mass Effect 4 comes out. And it might be in the works. It's EA. It's likely. Batman. Arkham Knight's coming out next year in 6 months, 7 months, whatever it is. This is on. I don't know if it's likely, but it might be it would very likely be a hit. I don't think they're going to do it. I don't think WB and Rocksteady and whoever they might source to do it. I don't think it's likely that they'll do it, but I think it will be a hit if they do. Because honestly, Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, Origins, which I haven't played yet. I own it. I haven't played. I haven't beaten Arkham City. I want to. I just haven't done it. I just own too many games, to be honest with you. But those games on their own are worth purchasing again. They are fantastic games. Origin, you might argue, glitchy, whatever, chance to fix the glitch. But not made by the same company. But honestly, I think they would be right up people's alley. Purchase again, they'd do it. Gears of War. Gears of War. Do it the same way you did Master Chief. You got Gears of War 4 coming out. Is it 4? I don't know. I'm not really into Gears of War, to be honest with you. I like them, but I don't follow them. I'm not hardcore Gears of War. I need this in my life. But if you do it the same way you did Master Chief Collection, minus the online bullshit glitches and server issues and everything else you got going on, if you did it right, that's a no-brainer too. Crazy no-brainer. That would sell like gangbusters. So then we got Kingdom Hearts. 1.5 and 2.5 HD remixes are out. I own the first one. I'm not going to get the second one because I feel like it's happening. Kingdom Hearts 3, again, coming out on Xbox One and PlayStation 4. You've got people who bounce back and forth, especially in the Xbox One. If you're buying Kingdom Hearts 3 on Xbox One, you may not have ever played Kingdom Hearts 1 or 2. That's shitty to jump in a convoluted, fucked up story like that, where you have to know what's going on between every goddamn game. You got to know what happened in the DS version. What happened in the Game Boy Advance version? Did you play one on PS3 or PS2? Did you play the second one? Did you play Dream Drop Distance on 3DS? Oh, well, you're screwed. You don't know what's going on in this convoluted story. What about the Xbox players who have never played any of them? And they're going to just jump into 3? If they're able to do that, you're just really shitting on the story that you've started, snowballing to wherever it's landed. I think it's going to happen. I think 1, 2, the remixes are coming to new-gen consoles. So, I think it's likely. I think it'll be a hit. And then, obviously, Resident Evil. Preface it by saying, I think 4 will just continue to go no matter where you want it to. But with Resident Evil Remake coming out in a month, no better time to give that same treatment to Resident Evil 0, a criminally underrated game. Fantastic game. Don't add co-op. You could. It would kind of ruin the game. But remake, whatever you're going to call it, Resident Evil 0. Put on Xbox One, PS4. And if this one sells well, why not? Resident Evil 0 was a great game. People will tell you, probably in private. But it's a great game. And then that'll just open the door to redo 2, 3, whatever. Redo it any way you want. Remake, re-release, remaster, HD re-release, whatever you're going to call them. That could lead the way to that. Resident Evil, number 1. So this category is the very unlikely. I don't think these are going to happen, but there it is. These could work, and I'll throw in which ones I would want. I'll just start off. I'll go anywhere. Dead Island. Dead Island 2 is coming out. By the way, I don't think these are going to happen because I don't know where Techland or is it Deep Silver, whoever has the rights to this shit now, the original Dead Islands. Dead Island and Riptide. I don't know what their financial situation is. I don't know what any of that crap is. But you got Dead Island 2 coming out next year. I think it's going to be delayed because it's a new studio working on it since I think Techland is now working on Dying Light. I forget. Forgive me. I forget who's doing what. Those companies always screwed me up with publisher, developer, all that. But they're working on Dying Light now. And a new company is working on Dead Island 2. Gives you a chance to fix every goddamn glitch in Dead Island and Dead Island Riptide, because those games are great. But they were glitchy as shit, which turned a lot of people off. I don't know if I'd rebuy them. I might, reasonably priced, but I think you could do well with them. Not great, but add a new hype with Dead Island 2, the proper sequel, not like Riptide, which was basically an expansion pack. Not fully priced, but still $50 when it dropped. I don't know. Again, I don't think it's likely. Dishonored. Dishonored won a lot of Game of the Year from a lot of people. I was going to say almost everybody. No, that's not true. But won Game of the Year from a lot of people. Had a lot of DLC. Had a lot of praise. I don't know how well it did. I don't even remember the company that made it. I'm sorry. But I don't know where they are financially. I don't think this is going to happen, but that's a game that you could conceive of being re-released with everything. You could see it. I don't see it, but you could. Like, it has that cachet of the type of game it is. Just don't expect it to happen. Left 4 Dead 1 and 2. 3's coming out. We know it's coming out. We've seen the rumors. You could squeeze in a few more bucks out of that one. Alan Wake. Just because I love Alan Wake, and we know Alan Wake 2's coming, possibly after Quantum Conundrum. that what it's called? Oh shit, I forgot the name of the game that I'm super excited for. Anyway, I just love Alan Wake. I wanted that game to succeed so badly. It didn't. But that's just me wanting the game to happen. I don't even know if Alan Wake 2 is ever going to happen. They want to do it, but Alan Wake did not sell well. But it was a great game, and if you have not played it, I absolutely recommend going out and playing it. And American Nightmare as well, the arcade, spin-off type game. Silent Hill 4 and Origins. Throw Downpour in there too, because I love Downpour. Hate me all you want. I still loved it. With 2.5 years ago, with the shitstorm that was the HD collection, how badly that was handled, and the lukewarm at best response to Downpour, this one's probably not happening. I would not even blink an eye. I loved 4. Origins was okay. I liked it. It wasn't great. But those are the next two. They did 2 and 3 in the HD collection. 4 in Origins. If you want to remake 1, I guess you could, but they're not going to do that. Come on, man. I want those games. Throw Downpour in there for Xbox One or PS4. I'm all over it. Chrono Trigger and Chrono Cross. Again, this is just me saying I love these games. That's never going to happen. Square's too stupid to even make a sequel to Chrono Cross and Chrono Trigger. Then I'm going to fucking re-release them. Their last re-release, I think, was on, if you don't count the PSNs, putting the PlayStation versions on there, was the DS. That was the major one, the DS version of Chrono Trigger. That's pretty rare from what I understand now. Where they actually added stuff into the game. They didn't just say, here it is. Go play it on your PlayStation Portable or your Vita or your PlayStation 3. Like, they added stuff to the DS version, like a proper mode. I just want to see those games in HD as best as you could on new systems. Those games are fantastic. I love them. Add trophies and achievements. You got this dude's money. Mortal Kombat X. I'm gonna have a hard time calling it that. Mortal Kombat 10 is coming out in April. Throw Mortal Kombat 9 or just Mortal Kombat out. Done. Game over. Not gonna happen. What else we got on here? Last one in the unlikely column, but I wouldn't even blink an eye spending $60 on this. Fallout 3 or New Vegas. And I say and or because throw them all into one package. $60, all DLC, everything included. Again, this couch ain't red; it's jizz white. I would sell. I was gonna say I'd sell my kidney. I wouldn't sell my kidney. I'd sell part of my liver just to have those games. You know what? To be honest with you, if they released them as New Vegas and 3 by themselves, separate releases, separate boxes, separate downloads of 3 in New Vegas, I'd drop $60 on each one without even thinking. Fallout 4 is coming, guys. They said it's coming. They have nothing to announce other than we're working on it, or we're thinking about it, or whatever the situation may be Bethesda's going on with. We know it's there. Hopefully it's in Boston, but it's coming. In 17 years, the hype train's going to keep rolling. We're going to be disappointed that it's not as good as we expected it to be. But anyway, I wouldn't even blink an eye. What would you do for a Klondike bar type situation? I'd do a lot. It's not going to happen. Bethesda does not do shit like this. I would love to be proven wrong, but it's not happening. It gives them a chance to maybe tighten up all those graphics on level 3. Get those glitches done, over with. They're not testing this game. They're just if this happened, they'd probably go, let's just cut and paste. Goodbye. And I don't care, and I wouldn't care as much as those games were glitchy. Worth it. Immediately, I'd do it again. And then that's it. That was my list. Just off the top of my head, let's throw some more games that I would like to see. Would never happen. This is just me throwing shit against the wall and watching it drop and die. L.A. Noire, good game, loved it. liked it. I wouldn't say I loved it, but I didn't beat it. I own it. I have all the DLC for it, and it's just one of those games that fell through the cracks. I got like halfway through, and everything happened. I just didn't play it. But I'd like to see that updated for people to play. Blue Dragon and Lost Odyssey. Again, love those games. I didn't beat them, but I loved them, what I played of them. And I would like to see them updated. Would never happen. That's foolish. South Park Stick of Truth. My game of the year for 2014, along with Evil Within. Those are tied. I love those games so much. But anyway, it came out in 2014 when the new systems were out. So, man, I'm just thinking about it. To see that game on the new systems. Anyway, wouldn't happen. I don't think Ubisoft's going to do that. I wouldn't say it's pointless, but it's not even 5% chance. Not even. But that would be nice. And I'd love to see a new Katamari game on a home console. Not for the Vita, which I'm not saying the Vita version's bad. I would just like to see a new version on home consoles. That's that. That's my video. Actually, you know what? Let me show you some of the games that I have just sitting around that I can, just see and grab, that I grabbed earlier, that I forgot all about until I just noticed them over there, that I own, that I repurchased, that I've already owned in my past. No order to them. I own this for PS3. Bought it for the Vita. Great game. Disgaea is a great game. I must have owned all these games about 700 times in my life on various consoles. But come on, these games are classics. You gotta have them on every iteration because you just never know. Big fan of Doom 3. What more do you need to say about Doom 3? It's Doom. It's Doom 3. Bought it for DS. Matter of fact, I've even got a sealed. I don't know if you can read that. Yep. I've even got a second copy sealed of a Revelatons. Maybe one day it'll be worth money. You never know. But released on 360 HD. Absolutely. Spoke about it earlier. I won't talk about it again. Yep. You know it. One of the best games of 13. Again, my game of the year, tied with BioShock Infinite, because I couldn't choose. I loved both those worlds so much, and those characters so much, I could not choose a winner. So they were tied. But if I had to choose one, it's 1A, 1 and 1A. Whatever my mood was that day is the one I'd choose that day. Do we need to say anything else? Just seeing this, you don't even need to talk about it. Great games. There's no need to go play them. I had never played a Metro game, so this is what I'm talking about. I had never played a Metro game. They've always interested me. But here you go. Perfect example. Re-releasing them on the new system when there was a drought. I'm sure it sold well enough, but that's smart. A game that was marginally successful on the old systems just got better. Bam, another Telltale masterpiece. Can't wait for Season 2. Worth it to me to go back and play it again on the newer systems. Tomb Raider. Wasn't a fan of Tomb Raider on the PlayStation and, the first iteration. But when I played this game on 360, I fell in love. I almost feel like I played Uncharted just by playing this game, from what people tell me, from what I've seen. Same thing with Last of Us. Just a more violent, monster-induced version of it. But anyway, perfect example. I bought this on 360 after playing it from GameFly. When this dropped on Xbox One and PlayStation 4, I needed to play it again. It's that good. And I cannot wait for the new one coming out next year. I don't remember what it's called. But it's not called Tomb Raider. It's called Tomb Raider, but it's something, whatever. Tomb Raider, perfect example. God of War Collection. God of War Saga? Yeah, God of War Saga. All 5. Loved these games. Well, 1 and 2 anyway. I've still yet to play 3. And I have 4. I've yet to play that one as well. I've played the first PSP game. Haven't played the second one. Maybe eventually I'll get to them. You never know. Fantastic RPG. Fantastic. I've never played X2 because it really annoyed the shit out of me that this came out. Maybe I'll play it with this. Probably not. Just to know that I have Final Fantasy X, great game, and then as we talked about, Kingdom Hearts 1.5. Which, again, I'm not buying 2.5 because I think they are coming out on the new systems. So this video is almost 32 minutes long. It's way longer than I expected it to be, or I should say wanted to be. I expected it to be this long because I ramble like a fucking idiot. But hopefully you stayed to the end. Hopefully you like what you saw. If not, I appreciate you at least clicking on it and not hearing me say this. Leave a comment if you have a question for me. You want me to answer it in another video, or just comment on the video itself. Me personally, whatever you want, just to let me know you actually watched to the end. That would be fantastic. Give me ideas, criticism, whatever you want. Go watch Two Best Friends, because they are the hype as shit. Or, excuse me, I'm sorry, now they're the super best friends now. There's 4 of them, but they're now super best friends. So go watch them on YouTube. Thank you for watching. I'm going to go hopefully watch the Patriots beat the Chargers tonight. Just watch the Celtics beat the Wizards. I will preface this by saying, or I will end this by saying, I left out Nintendo properties because Nintendo doesn't do shit like that typically. And if they have, I've completely wiped it from my brain. Though they'll do some things kind of like this, but they don't redo games. So I left them out completely. Nintendo's in a whole nother. Sometimes I don't even like to think they're a video game company anymore. It's just Nintendo. They're not a game company. They're just Nintendo at this point. They're just Nintendo. They're a brand. They're not a game company. They're just Nintendo. They do whatever they're going to do, good or bad. They're just Nintendo. So 32 minutes, almost 33 minutes. Again, appreciate you watching. Like it, subscribe it, share it. Do whatever you're going to do. All these kids are doing on YouTube these days. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Let's get married. You and me. Not you and me. You and me. Let's do this. You're paying for it, though.